Hey guys, it's Oliver the Bulldog Pilot here. I hope you've been well. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you know that I'm building a replica of the world-renowned Brazilian warbird, the Tucano. I finally completed most of the components of the tail kit this week, so the stabilizer, elevators, and the fin are all assembled and buttoned up. And now I'm just waiting for the wing kit to arrive so I can start work on that. You know, one of the most important questions a prospective amateur builder needs to ask him or herself before choosing a platform to build is, what will the mission of the aircraft be? I gave a lot of thought to that question and figured out that my mission will be exploration. Most specifically, exploring much of this vast, beautiful country of ours, but also exploring the regions and countries that border the United States. Now, Mexico is high on my long list of countries to explore. Not only because my wife has family there, but also because it offers a long and rich list of destinations to poke and explore. So, in this episode, I'm going to share with you a few of the smaller airfields that I discovered on Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, the land of sunshine and margaritas. Now, these are airfields that would be great places to not only tie down your plane, but that it would also serve as great launch points from which to enjoy some of the best attractions Mexico has to offer. So a week ago, my wife Maria and I jumped on the short flight from Miami to Cancun, rented a car, and hit the road to our first destination, a place I've been wanting to visit for years, Playa del Carmen. Now, Playa del Carmen is a booming tourist hotspot, famous for its beaches, restaurants, and nightlife. During our first day, we scoped out the beaches, we visited several low-key coffee shops, stopped by a few co-working spots, and at night, hit the most authentic taco spot in the city to round out the busy day. But while doing all that great stuff with the missus, you know I was itching to check out the first of two airfields that made my very short list of prospective Tucano deployment sites. So let me introduce you to the first one. So there's only one airport in Playa del Carmen, and it's less than a mile from the sea. It's a small aerodrome with only one runway, no commercial air traffic, no fuel, and no tower. It's a very basic facility, but you simply can't beat the location. It's literally smack in the middle of one of the most famous beach towns in Mexico, Playa del Carmen. Like I mentioned before, this airfield has no control tower, but it does feature a paved runway that extends for 2,000 feet and heavy-duty security, since the Mexican military has a presence on site. So in my opinion, it's a viable option for safety-conscious, visiting recreational pilots. The airport manager, Mr. Germán Ruiz, was accessible and kind enough to give me a tour of the airfield, and during that tour he explained that there is plenty of ramp space for visiting aircraft, but that the airfield management does not offer dedicated hangar space. However, he did say that management is open to leasing ground space to any aircraft owner that wants to lease a small patch of real estate upon which to erect a shelter, like this one. So the very next day, we hopped on a ferry that takes people between Playa del Carmen and the island of Cozumel. Cozumel has a small Hawaii vibe that the other cities along Yucatan simply don't have. It's cooler, greener, and far more serene than Cancun or Playa del Carmen. On this 15-minute taxi drive from the ferry drop-off point to the Eduardo Toledo airfield, I saw more green space than I had during my entire drive down the Yucatan Peninsula. At the airfield, we were met by the airfield manager, a gentleman by the name of Mr. Rafael Arnal. Rafael was awesome, super generous with his time, as he took us on a tour of the airfield, starting with a long stretch of runway. Here's a quick flyover of the taxiway, the ramp area, and runway. The airfield looks and feels like it's in the middle of a forest, and that's because it actually is. The trees really help to keep the ramp real estate, and the airport in general, cool and comfortable. This is the kind of place that you wouldn't be in a rush to leave. And it's super safe too, because like the Playa del Carmen airfield, it's overseen by the Mexican military. Like the Playa del Carmen airfield, the Toledo airfield doesn't have dedicated hangar space for rent. But Rafael told me that the airfield owners are open to leasing ground space to aircraft owners so they can erect more permanent hangar structures. Now, all in all, I like this airfield a lot more than I did the first one. So if you're considering a Mexico deployment for a few days, weeks, or months, you don't want to overlook the Eduardo Toledo airfield, located in this oasis of an island just a few miles off the Mexican mainland. So I have to say that although this trip was short, it was very productive and confirmed my hunch that Eastern Mexico will be a great place to not only explore, but also to safely maintain my airplane. So after scoping out Cozumel, it was time to return to sunny South Florida, where I have manuals to read and hopefully some wing parts waiting to be deburred and primed. Well guys, thanks for tuning into this episode, and if you haven't done so yet, please don't forget to subscribe. Now, in the next episode, we'll get back down to the business of airplane building, and I'll share with you the top lessons I learned about amateur aircraft building while I was assembling the tail section of the Tucano. So, until next time guys, stay positive, stay focused, and don't give up on your dreams.